Alright, what's up guys? We are back for another lesson from The Richest Man in Babylon. This is an exciting book study. I think it's much needed in the body of Christ because we are teaching you how to put your money to work for you so that you are freed up to do all the amazing things God has called you to do. This is not a complicated or hard system to follow. If you are new to the series, please like and subscribe. Go back and check out the other videos, parts 1, 2, 3, etc. in this series because I don't want you to miss a single lesson that we have to learn from The Richest Man in Babylon. This is a classic book. It was written in 1926, but it takes place in the ancient times of Babylon, thousands of years before, and we get to learn these lessons about investing and having your money work for you. It's crazy powerful. It's crazy that it was written in 1926, and it's crazy how he wrote it where it parallels the ancient times. It's actually a genius book. I've really gotten into it. I really like it. And so we're going to talk about this chapter here called Meet the Goddess of Good Luck. Now, as Christians, that's not what we believe, but let me just give you the parallel of what it means here. He's basically going into a story. So the richest man in Babylon, Arcad, he does kind of like a mastermind meeting once a week. And wealthy and successful people come from all around. They meet with him and they have discussions. Well, the discussion in this topic was about luck. Now, we don't really believe in luck, but what he's getting at through the parable and through the lesson is that fortune favors the bold. That's kind of the punchline, but we got some interesting things here I want to point out before we get to that. So stick around, but what it's saying here is luck's not really a thing. It's the blessing that is available to those who take advantage of opportunities. That's kind of the concept here. So, like I said, essentially they meet in this group and they start talking about how does it seem, they're basically like, it seems like the wealthy are lucky. It seems like they were in the right place at the right time, and because of that, you know, they were magically favored by this goddess of good luck. And as silly as that may sound today, that's actually how a lot of people think. Whenever you see a wealthy person, you're often taught to think, oh, that person's lucky. I wasn't lucky enough to get rich. I've done surveys before. I've asked my audience. I've done all these different things. I've read about studies. And one of the biggest thoughts from the poor and middle class when they think about a wealthy person, they think they got lucky. They inherited their money. Their parents were rich, so they became rich. It was luck. Or they happened to just stumble across this business opportunity at the perfect time, and they were lucky. I'm not lucky enough to be rich. That's cool. I wish we were fortunate enough to have that. But the point of this whole parable and this lesson is that's not how it works. Even back in the 20s, people were saying this stuff. Even back in thousands of years ago, people were saying these same lies and excuses that we hear today. And I want to make sure that you don't believe those things either, because it's actually hindering you from being successful. And that's what's going to be great about this video, is I'm going to show you something in here today that I've done, you've done, we've all done, and it has hindered our success. It's an interesting point of this lesson, so stay tuned for that. Again, if you're new to the channel, my name is Travis Peters. I teach Christians how to live a life of increase, how to dominate their finances, and escape the budgeted life. I'm the only guy out there teaching you how to get out of a budget when everyone else is putting you in one. So if that sounds interesting to you, click the link below. Head over to theincreasechallenge.com. I'm going to give you 5 days of increase coaching with me. It's 5 videos and 5 lessons that are guaranteed to change your financial results. I'm going to show you how to live a life that's big now and big later without budgeting your life away. So check that out. Now, back to the story. Essentially, a man stands up and says, Arcad, you're rich, wealthy, and successful. How did you get so lucky? And they start talking about this concept of luck. And so as they go around the room, you know, people are telling different stories. But what they decided to do is like, okay, wait a minute. Has anybody ever been close to landing a big deal, or something great was about to happen, but it slipped through your fingers and you didn't get to take advantage of it? Is there lessons we can learn from that? Almost like being unlucky. And so they go and they tell these different stories. It's such a fun and fascinating book. I just recommend y'all pick it up. I get the book and I listen to it on Audible at the same time. It's great. It's super thin, quick read. Get it, okay? So what goes without saying is he tells this story, or somebody in the audience stands up and says, yes, that has happened to me. Let me tell you a story. Long story. Medium length story short. The nutshell version is his father went to him and said, hey, my friend's son is buying a big plot of land over here where it's hard to get water to. But they're creating this new water system so that we can water this land and it will become very profitable farmland for anybody who buys it. He's looking for investors to go in and contribute 1/10 of their income until the amount of money is needed for this project. Then they will sell the plots and all of you guys will profit heavily from it. It'll be awesome. And the dad is saying to his son, please go do this. I missed out on opportunities like this as a kid. And now I'm older and I don't have anything to show for it. You are young. Here's a great opportunity. Please, I beg of you, I implore of you, go meet with the kid, go meet with the man and say you want in, basically. And the youth is like, Dad, I see your point, but man, I'm young. I don't really want to spend my money on that. There's this cool clothes that are coming out. There's all these cool things he wanted to buy instead. And he goes, I'm young. I'll have more opportunities like this later. And the dad's like, please, I'm telling you, it's a mistake. Go invest in this thing. And the kid did not do it. Later on, it was just as his dad said. In fact, it was wildly even more profitable than what they had planned on. Basically, had he taken advantage of this opportunity, then he wouldn't have to work ever again. I mean, it was just a wildly profitable, explosive, profitable situation. But he did not take advantage of it. Another guy gets up and tells another story of an opportunity. He had to buy all these sheep at a discounted price, but because he didn't want to take the risk, it was at nighttime, he couldn't quite count it all. He waited till the morning. When the morning came, the rest of the people from the city came in and bought this herd for over asking price when the guy had offered it to him for well under asking price if he would just do it right now. He didn't do it, and he missed out on a ton of profits again. And there's a couple different stories like this going throughout. So what's the lesson that we can learn here? It says this. Let me go back to the first guy who missed out on investing in the plots of land. Well, what he says here in the story, as he's in the mastermind group, he says, I missed out at an opportunity to start, and many years have now passed, and I haven't even made my beginning. So it was the same problem, you could say, that the dad had. He was like, son, please invest in this. I missed my opportunities. I didn't invest when I was young. I would have something to show for it today. Here's an opportunity for you to start when you're young, so you have something to show for it tomorrow. But that youth didn't do it, and now here he is years later. Sounds like he's an adult now too, and he's like, I missed my beginning. And I think that was interesting. That stood out to me. I missed my start, so to speak. Because I'm still a young guy, right? I'm 38 years young. At the same time, I've had opportunities to invest in things when I was younger. I really wish I would have. It's why my 8-year-old is investing. Because if we really got all of our kids investing when they were 8, 10, 12, 15, back in the day, like your grandma or something at Christmas would give you money to go into some kind of like trust fund that, I'm spacing on the name, it's not a trust fund, but give you money, but you can't touch it. It's like $500, but you can't touch it till you're 18. Those are actually great gifts. At the time, you're like, what? Can't play with this. But they're actually phenomenal gifts that we'll be very thankful for later, right? So if we can start these types of things with our kids, help them get their beginning. It doesn't take much. You can start really small, and it becomes really fun pretty quick. So, I mean, that was his point. Opportunity stands before thee, my son. It's offering a chance that may lead to wealth. I beg of thee, do not delay. That was the dad speaking to the son. An opportunity that may lead to wealth. It's worth taking the opportunity if it may lead. There's not a guarantee, but it may lead to wealth. Let's take this opportunity. Go promptly upon the morrow. Opportunity waits for no man. Today it is here, soon it is gone. Therefore do not delay. But in spite of my father's advice, I did hesitate. Basically goes on to say he had spent his money. He went and decided to buy things like some clothes and a couple different stuff like that. In this tale, we see how good luck waits to come to the man who accepts opportunity. All right, so that's interesting. Again, we're not using it as good luck. We're using it as fortune and rewards and things like that. And that's actually his point. He's not actually using it as luck either. He's trying to make his point through a parable. To the building of an estate, there must always be a beginning. The Bible talks about do not despise humble beginnings. Because sometimes it's hard when it's like, what's $500 going to do? What's $1,000 going to do? What's $50 going to do? It's not even worth investing. It's nothing. But every estate must begin somehow. You got to begin. To take his first start to building an estate is as good luck as can come to any man. Got a text there. I'm not even going to edit it out because I love you guys. To take his first start to building an estate is as good luck as can come to any man. With all men, that first step, which changes them from men. This is a part, man, I highlighted and underlined. I want you guys to get this. That first step, which changes them from men who earn from their own labor to men who draw dividends from the earning of gold, is an important one. Let me say that again. With all men, that first step, which changes them from men who earn from their own labor to men who draw dividends. That's an important first step. That's freedom, guys. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to see. I'm just getting the true revelation of it. You know, just maybe a year ago, it started to get really real to me. Where I was like, oh my goodness, I could have been doing this the whole time. What if my 8-year-old, by the time she's of, I don't know, 16, 18, maybe we do go to college or whatever, but she can draw from dividends. That's how her money comes. Oh man, it's just the first step. You got to take that first step to making that switch. That's where real freedom lives. Okay? There's a man from Syria in the crowd, and he stands up and he does this funny thing where he can barely speak the language, and it's all broken. It's humorous. But what he says was, we have a word for that, and it's called being a procrastinator. And the rest of this chapter goes on and talks about that. He accepts not opportunity when she comes. He waits. He says, I have plenty of business right now. Bye, I'll talk to you later. Opportunity will not follow such a fellow. She thinks if a man desires to be lucky, he will move on it quick. Any man that doesn't step quick when opportunity comes, he is a big procrastinator like our friend. Talking about one of the guys in the story. And they go on and they kind of laugh and they like that, how direct the guy's being. It's an entertaining story. It's super fun. But what he goes on is to say this. This is interesting. There's some fascinating stuff in this book, guys. Just get it. Talking about procrastinating and making moves quickly. He talks about taking advantage of opportunities versus waiting and waiting and waiting. But listen to this mindset that he points out. He says, when we are wrong about something, we are very, very stubborn about it. But when we are right about something, we are prone to go back and forth, to waver, and let the opportunity escape through hesitation. He says, my first judgment is best. Guys, I don't know how many times I have done that. I'm sure you guys have as well. Your first thought, your first instinct, your first judgment, it was right. But you went back and forth. You wavered. James chapter 1 talks about this in the Bible, wavering back and forth. My first judgment was my best judgment. When I'm wrong, I'm stubborn about it and slow to change, or basically won't change. But when I'm right, hey, my first instinct was right. Why did I change my mind? Why didn't I act on it? Why did I miss out? It talks about, the whole concept is like, are the wealthy lucky, and how does luck play in? And his point is, luck doesn't play in. You're just procrastinating. You just put stuff off. You move too slow sometimes. And you miss out. You get into fear. You get in doubt, you get into worry. All the what ifs, it doesn't work. Remember, we teach this in the channel. We don't focus on what if it doesn't work. We focus on what happens when it does. Procrastinating. Man, I've presented opportunities to people to join my mastermind groups, my coaches and coursing programs at discounted prices and some different things. But you hesitated and didn't get in. You went back and forth on it, and most of my stuff's not even expensive. I mean, it's pretty cheap, pretty affordable, you could say. And people hesitate on it, and then later they try to get in, and the price is up, and they're like, well, I'm like, you hesitated. Why'd you hesitate? Let's go. And I've done the same thing, obviously. I just think it's so fascinating how he tells this story and points out these things to us. Each time good luck comes to a procrastinator bringing a good plan, each time they hesitate and they say, right now is not the best time, but instead they should do it quick. The spirit of procrastination is within all men. We desire riches, we desire success, yet how often when opportunity appears before us, the spirit of procrastination from within urges us with various delays in our acceptance. In listening to it, we become our own worst enemies. And Arcad goes on to say, like, in order for him to become wealthy, he had to master the spirit of procrastination and put it into it once and for all. He recognized what it was. It was a habit of needless delaying where action was required. Prompt action and being decisive. It's not difficult to conquer once you understand it. You can conquer it with determination. Every man must master his own spirit of procrastination before he can expect to share in the rich treasures of Babylon. Opportunities come to all men. Some grasp theirs and move steadily towards the gratification of their deepest desires, but the majority of men hesitate, falter, and get left behind. So good. Good luck, or success, often follows opportunity, but seldom otherwise. Our merchant friend from the story would have found good fortune had he accepted the opportunity that was presented to him. Our friend the animal buyer, same thing. He would have enjoyed good luck had he completed the purchase of the flock and sold it at a handsome profit the next day. So good. Action will lead you forward to the successes you most desire. Men of action are the ones who are favored. So when it comes to investing, right, a lot of us feel like things are risky and stuff like that. In our Passive Income Engines program, we teach you how to invest in ways that create passive income in the crypto space, crypto realm. All right, there's a lot of things over there I didn't even know existed. I'll put links below if you guys want to check it out. It's crazy powerful. Anyway, just changing lives, setting people free, getting out of their day jobs, retiring their spouses, all kinds of cool stuff happening over there. But from time to time, there is a project or an investment that goes under. Just like investing in stocks and real estate and everything else, it happens over here also. Well, for me, there was one where I lost $15,000 or $16,000 in it. And honestly, it wasn't like I wasn't devastated or anything. But what it caused me to do was to begin to hesitate on other opportunities. And I caught myself doing this because I was thinking about that one incident. I would hesitate on great opportunities, causing me to miss out. Some of them I missed out on. Some of them I didn't get in early, so I didn't get the benefits for longer. I was kind of late to the game, so to speak. And so, that's not the end of the world or anything. But it's interesting how that procrastination, that hesitation comes into play. Why? And I get logically why, but I also understand, hey, if we don't move on these things, we're never going to get the success that we want. We have to be men and women of action. We have to push past fear. All those men in those investment opportunities, there was risk and fear involved. What if it doesn't work? What if I lose my money? What if I get ripped off? The guy with the sheep buying the flock, that's what he was afraid of. What if I get ripped off? It's too dark out here. I can't count all the things. And the guy was like, hey, Don't worry, I will leave one of my slaves there and he'll count in the morning and help you get everything, collect the money. I just got to get back to my hometown. I got to get out quick. I'll sell it to you at a discount. And the guy was afraid. Sounds too good to be true. These types of things and saying, these unchallenged thoughts that we have hinder us, cause procrastination, cause delays, and then we wonder why we don't have that level of success. Man, I just wasn't lucky enough to get in when he did. You could have, but you delayed, you hesitated, you procrastinated. Man, if I would have, I like this adage, the best time to get started investing was yesterday. The second best time is today. Let's move on this stuff. Let's be men and women of action. Fortune favors the bold, but we got to take and make some bold moves. All right, make sure you like and subscribe. That's my lesson for you today. I got the next couple chapters coming out soon. You don't want to miss a single one. Hit that notification bell. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you. I'll show you some love. I want to give you the gift of the Increase Challenge. I currently have it set for free at the time of the release of this recording. Click that link below. 5 days of increased coaching with me. 5 videos, 5 lessons. It will change your future. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.